If you're researching interstate move costs, there's one term you're going to hear over and over again, the line haul. Today we're going to explain exactly what the line haul is, why it exists, and how it's calculated. And most importantly, why understanding it is one of the best protections you have against moving fraud. Let's get started. As we discussed previously, there are 5 base composite charges that make up your total transportation rate. The very first and most important of these is what is called the line haul. The line haul is a weight-based and distance-based charge. It's the backbone of every long-distance move. Everything else, packing services, shuttles, valuation, all of that gets added on top of the line haul. To really understand the line haul, it helps to know where it came from. In the early days of the moving industry, rates were negotiated privately between movers and customers. There were no rules, no consistency, and frankly, a lot of discrimination and disputes. People were getting charged whatever the mover felt like charging, and there was no accountability. So how does line haul pricing actually work today? Today, every van line calculates rates using advanced rating engines, sophisticated software systems that handle all the math. These systems use national mileage databases like Rand McNally or the Household Goods Mileage Guide to determine the official distance from one zip region to another. The millions of possible weight and distance combinations are preloaded into the software. Now, what does the line haul charge actually pay for? The line haul was created to cover the basic operating costs of running a long-distance moving fleet. These include labor and driver wages, taxes and permits, equipment ownership and depreciation, normal fuel consumption, maintenance and repairs, insurance and regulatory compliance, and dispatch and operation overhead. In other words, the line haul covers the fundamental costs of getting your belongings from point A to point B safely and legally. Let me give you a concrete example to help this make sense. We created 4 fictitious shipments weighing 4,000 pounds, 8,000, 12,000, and 16,000 pounds, all starting from Providence, Rhode Island. Then we calculated the line haul for 6 different distances: Washington, D.C., Lady Lake, Florida, Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Las Vegas, Nevada, and San Francisco, California. Here's what we found. As the distance increased, the line haul increased. And with larger shipments, the line haul rose more sharply because they take up a greater portion of the trailer's capacity. From a customer's point of view, this makes perfect sense. The heaviest shipments traveling the longest distances are always the most expensive. Now let's talk about something extremely important, because this is where a lot of customers get taken advantage of. The line haul is usually the largest part of the moving price, and many other charges like the fuel surcharge are based on it. When the line haul increases or decreases, virtually every other service charge does the same. And because the line haul has only 2 variables, weight and distance, it's also the most common place where a dishonest salesperson can manipulate a quote. Here's the reality. A salesperson cannot lie about the distance between your old home and your new one. That number is fixed and verifiable. But they can misrepresent the estimated weight. Let me give you an example of dishonest behavior. Imagine you get 3 estimates for a 1,300-mile move from Warwick to Tampa. 2 salespeople estimate the weight at about 7,000 pounds. But a third salesman, who knows better but lacks integrity, deliberately underestimates the weight at 6,000 pounds. That's a 14% reduction. Because the line haul is calculated directly from the weight, that salesperson instantly appears cheaper than the competition. In addition, all of the other line haul dependent charges are also 14% less. But here's the trap. Once the truck is weighed at a certified scale, the true weight will be used, not the estimate. And you will be legally obligated to pay the full correct amount based on that actual weight. Purposefully underestimating the weight is the oldest and dirtiest trick in the book, and it's how countless customers get lured into choosing the wrong mover based on price alone. They think they're getting a great deal, and when they get hit with a massive price increase on delivery day, it's too late to change. So how do you protect yourself? Here are the simplest and most effective best practices to avoid being taken advantage of. The first one is read reviews and be selective about who you allow to quote. Filter movers by their reputation, either online or by personal recommendation, so you're not overwhelmed by too many interactions. 2. Buy local. Be aware that there are many out-of-state movers who market themselves as local Rhode Island companies. Do your research. Google their street address. Find out who they actually are and whether they have a brick and mortar location to support your move if something goes wrong, or are they just a storefront located in a strip mall in West Palm Beach. 3. Always get multiple estimates. 3 to 4 estimates is a manageable number. 4. Ideally, get an in-person estimate. While it's possible to get an accurate estimate using a virtual survey, there is no replacement for a salesperson actually being there in your home to see what needs to be moved. If the salesperson is local, insist on one. If they don't want to come out to your house, walk away. 5. Never share the details of one company's estimate with another, especially the weight. You want an independent, objective assessment every time. If you tell one company what another company estimated, you're giving them an opportunity to manipulate their numbers to undercut the competition. 6. Be cautious when one estimate is significantly lower than the others. In moving, unlike buying a new car, a lower price does not mean you're getting the same product for less. At best, it often means the salesperson accidentally omitted something, and at worst, they've unscrupulously manipulated a key variable like the weight estimate. 7. Verify the table of measurements. As part of their estimating process, the salesperson will produce a form called the table of measurements, or cube sheet. This is a room-by-room listing of everything that is to be shipped, which includes the item's volume and its weight. These are the only items that the mover is contractually obligated to move. Ensure that you get a copy of the cube sheet. Examine it closely to verify that all of the items you told the salesperson are going to be shipped have been listed. 8. Remember, estimates are not guarantees. You are ultimately responsible for the actual charges based on your shipment's true weight and the services provided. An estimate is just that, an estimate. At Arpin RI and Liberty, we're committed to giving you honest, accurate weight estimates based on real experience. Not guesses, not shortcuts, and not gimmicks. Our goal is to educate you, protect you, and ensure that your interstate move is handled with integrity. If you'd like a clear, transparent interstate estimate, or you simply want to learn more about how moving charges are calculated, we're here to help. Reach out anytime. Our office is in Coventry, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions. All right, now you understand the core transportation charge, the Linehaul. In our next video, we're going to cover the additional transportation charge, or ATC. It is used to offset some of the geographically based pricing variability that's built into the tariff system. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next module.